Good evening and welcome to May 17th, 1941. I'm Henry Chop, your host, and I will tell you about the two videos we are going to have premiering tonight in just 30 seconds. If you enjoy the content of this channel, not only subscribe, but please donate to its upkeep. Because of the vintage radio, music, and films that we share, this channel does not qualify for YouTube monetization. Help motivate us to consistently post this wonderful content. We like to think that this channel is more interesting and entertaining than any other World War II channel on YouTube. Help us keep going by donating. In the expanded description section to this video, you will find two links for which to donate. One is for PayPal and the other is for a GoFundMe. If the GoFundMe link is outdated on this video, go to this channel's description or our latest video where you will find an updated link. Any little bit helps. Tonight is Saturday night, and because of that, we have two videos. I try to share two videos on a Saturday night, one with radio and one with hopefully a movie double feature, and we do have that tonight. First off, let me tell you about the radio programs we are going to listen to. We are going to start things out at 7 in the morning with The World Today on CBS. Now, I only have 5 minutes of this 15-minute program. I think the other transcription discs got broken or lost or something happened to them. I tried looking for the complete program, complete broadcast of this, and I couldn't find it. So we have just 5 minutes of news, so just pretend you're tuning it in a little late. And then after that, we have the three syndicated programs that we feature on Saturdays. We have Jungle Gym, Front Page Drama. The Front Page Drama episode is An Evening at Maxims, and we have Edgar A. Guest. Now, following those three programs, we have the Green Hornet. I did not see the Green Hornet listed in the Chicago radio listings, but it is dated May 17th, 1941, and this episode is titled Wrong Money Means Jail. And then following the Green Hornet, we have the Your Hit Parade Jukebox. How did your favorite song do this week? Well, you will find out. Did it move up the charts? Do we have a new number one song? Are the Dorsey Brothers still dominating the charts? What songs fell off the charts? What songs moved on to the charts? You'll find it all out there as we count down the top 10 songs on the Your Hit Parade Jukebox. And then following that, we have a classic movie double feature. We have The Man Who Lost His Way and The Mad Doctor. And selected shorts. I put some movie shorts into it this time, so you'll have some fun with that. And one of them's the Three Stooges for you guys out there. I know not a lot of women like the Three Stooges, but I know a lot of you guys do, so I put a Stooges on there. So we're going to have some fun after this upload is done if you want to stick around for the classic movie double feature. And by the way, those two movies were playing in Chicago on May 17th, 1941. So take a seat in your easy chair, just sit back, close your eyes, and it is once again May 17th, 1941. You have your windows open. It's a beautiful spring evening, and you turn on that old tube radio. That's your time machine, and we're giving this stuff a listen.
The World Today. At this time, the Columbia Broadcasting System calls on its correspondents in important European capitals for the latest news on the diplomatic, economic, and battle fronts. Tonight, direct by transatlantic shortwave radio, you shall hear from Harry W. Flannery in Berlin, Lee White in Sofia, and Edward Murrow in London. But before going abroad for the latest news, here is a summary of Press Association reports from other points. From Athens comes a Greek government spokesman's report that a new counterattack by the Italians in the Albanian coastal sector had met with a fate worse than any yet tried. The Italians are said to have launched the attack with large forces and to have been repulsed with such heavy losses that they retreated in confusion. The spokesman said the Italians have not had time to reorganize their positions. From Vichy come reports that Pope Pius XII has renewed his peace drive in the hope of bringing a settlement of the war. The pontiff is reported to have instructed Cardinal Gellier, Archbishop of Lyon and Primate of France, to strive for a Franco-German peace as the first step toward ending the war. It is reported that the Cardinal has had a series of conferences within the last few days with Marshal Pétain and other French cabinet officers. Tokyo reports that an armistice between Siam and French Indochina was signed today aboard a Japanese warship in Saigon Harbor, and that peace negotiations would begin soon in Tokyo. Now for the news direct. First from the German capital, Harry W. Flannery reporting. Go ahead, Berlin.
This is Berlin. Our German newspapers tonight continue to give main attention to the speech yesterday afternoon by Adolf Hitler. The German radio quoted from other newspapers in all parts of Europe, as well as in Russia and Japan. The Berlin local Anzeiger, commenting on the address, said that the warning to the United States had been well understood on the other side of the ocean. Indicative of the importance attached to this part of the talk was the fact that one of the German radio broadcasts tonight quoted these passages at length, including the phrase, in connection with help to Britain, that every ship, whether with or without escort, that comes within range of our torpedoes will be sunk. Official circles in Berlin this afternoon, commenting on the Hitler speech, said that this threat applied only to the war-blocked waters about England. At the same time, it was noted that Der Fuhrer made no comments on the recent Roosevelt speech, had nothing to say directly about the so-called Lend and Lease bill, and generally speaking, made few references to the United States. As far as Germany is concerned, it doesn't appear tonight, therefore, that the situation in connection with the United States has been changed by the address. In connection with reports in English and Swedish newspapers that Wendell Willkie had been invited to come to Germany, it was said in official quarters tonight that Willkie had not been given any such invitation, and that if he had, he would probably have refused it. Nevertheless, continued the Wilhelmstrasse comment, Willkie would have found it extremely interesting to visit Berlin, since it was said there had been no air raid of arms here since December the 21st. The official news agency DNB also busied itself with a denial tonight. This was that the BBC claimed that Germany had attempted an invasion of England. Germany did not undertake any invasion effort of England either last month or last September, said the news agency. 3 air raid alarms were reported in London today. An early official German news announcement said the small units of the German Air Force attacked a number of militarily important objectives in London and nearby in the course of this forenoon and the early hours of the afternoon. Another German news announcement tonight claimed that a German long-distance bomber attacked a 5,000-ton merchant vessel 100 miles west of the Hebrides about noon today. That an hour later, a second steamer of over 5,000 tons was attacked 250 miles off the Scottish coast. It was said that both ships were so effectively hit that they went down within a short space of time. Further activity of German planes in the Mediterranean War was announced. The Italian communique said that German planes bombed Suez and Ismail in the Suez Canal. No further details were given. Chancellor Hitler was reported to have received a delegation of members of the Imperial Japanese Army in the new Reichschancellery today. The delegation, headed by Lieutenant General Yamashita, has been making a tour of inspection of special institutions and branches of the German Army and Air Force, and is expected to visit the Western Front battlefields later. Members of the Hoover Commission, after having made a tour of Belgium and the Netherlands in connection with relief there, reported tonight ready to meet in Berlin for discussions. Another note is that Tchaikovsky's opera, The Sorceress, was heard in the State Opera House in Berlin tonight in its first presentation outside of Russia and possibly the first anywhere in decades. Sorceress failed when first given in Russia, principally because it was boycotted on moral grounds and has not been attempted since. This is Harry W. Flannery, returning you to Columbia, New York.
Stay tuned next for Jungle Jim.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. The Adventures of Jungle Jim, broadcast weekly over this station, are dramatized from the full-color action pictures to be found in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest comic supplement that comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. Join the 11 million adults and the 6 million youngsters who enjoy the world's greatest comic and adventure pictures by the world's best artists, featured in every issue of the Comic Weekly, which comes to you with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. During fleet maneuvers in the Caribbean Sea, a lone U.S. pilot discovered a strange and ominous shadow just beneath the waves. It proved to be a submarine with no identification marks. Even when it emerged to the surface, it flew no flag. Further investigation gave no clue as to its allegiance. A flight of 6 planes with photographers as observers could turn up no more information about the strange prowler, so near to the new line of defense bases now being built to aid in the enforcement of the Monroe Doctrine. This bit of mysterious clue, when reported to Washington, was passed on to Colonel Barrett at the Canal Zone with the suggestion that Jungle Jim Bradley make a thorough investigation of any possible base such as a submarine could operate from. We pick up Jungle Jim in Colonel Barrett's office discussing the matter.
So you see, Jim, while the information the Navy has been able to gather is incomplete and very sketchy, the nubbin of the idea spells trouble for us, unless we find out definitely that the sub they sighted was just a single stray one off its course. If not, we must locate and destroy the base from which it came.
Finding the proverbial needle in the haystack seems simple alongside this.
It's not an easy job. It's the kind of one we prefer to work on unofficially. You see, Jim, with world conditions as they are, and so many undeclared wars raging, our policy is to ferret out these plotters, such as Doc Beard, before they do any damage. The powers they represent never find out what happened to them.
Well, that's all right, Colonel, but this submarine, without more information to go on, I could make a lifetime career just looking for it. The Caribbean is rather large, you know.
Well, let's go over the facts, Jim. A submarine has definite limitations as to cruising range, both on the surface and submerged.
Yes, go on.
In the meantime, the Navy Department supplied me with a report on the rated performance of the type which they believe this one to be. There it is. Now, let's see. Displacement about 1,100 tons, surface speed 16 knots, submerged 10 knots. Here it is. Cruising radius with full complement of officers and men, 1,750 miles. You see, Jim, that clinches it.
Yeah, that cuts down the job a lot. Only 1,750 miles. Just a couple of days' walk.
No, Jim, not 1,750. Half of that. Only 875 out and 875 back.
Yes, that's right. Say, no, Colonel, this might be interesting at that.
Interesting. Say, Jim, I envy you the opportunity. I'd be willing to swap jobs right now.
Don't know as I want to, Colonel. Whoever owns this sub must have a base. And just suppose we were faced with such a problem. I mean, if we were looking for a secret base for our own subs. Where would we most likely locate it?
That's the stuff, Jim. I knew you wouldn't pass up a chance like this one. Well, now let's see. Here's a detailed map of the entire area.
Now, where was the sub first spotted?
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
The carrier was 75 miles north, and here's the spot, halfway between the canal and the island of Jamaica.
Well, the most logical place would be to the east, and probably toward the coast of South America.
Mm-hmm.
That would give them access to the ocean, either through the Windward Passage or between Trinidad and Venezuela.
Yes, Jim. That would seem to be the most logical place, but don't rule out the small island reefs to the north between Puerto Rico and the Leeward Islands.
Mm-hmm. Either place would fit into the possibility of a base for such a sub. I think we can rule out the western shores of the Caribbean.
Yes, definitely. That would be too risky. Why, we'd find a base there in a 48-hour search. Come in. Yeah?
Radiogram from Puerto Rico base, sir.
Oh, let me have it. Pardon me a moment, Jim.
Certainly.
That's all. No answer.
Thank you, sir.
Jim, this should have been addressed to you. It's from Colonel Cripps of Puerto Rico. Have you made arrangements with Jungle Jim Bradley? If so, when can we expect his arrival? Much more information is now available. Signed, Cripps.
Well, I guess that settles it, Colonel. Yes, I'll leave within an hour. Just got to pack a toothbrush.
Jim, you'll never regret this decision. And you know you have my best wishes for every success.
Thanks, Colonel. I'll have to round up Kitty, and will you arrange transportation for us?
Well, if an hour is enough for you to get ready, it's okay with me. See you at the airport, then.
While Jungle Jim is making the decision to follow new and uncharted trails wherever they may lead, Kitty St. John is being mildly amused listening to the tall tales being told by the young pilots. They gather around the vivacious Kitty as bees gather around a fragrant flower.
It was almost time to bail out. That ship was wound up in such a tight spin, I thought it would never kick out of it.
My. Well, go on.
Well, where was I?
All wound up, wasn't that it?
Oh, yeah. Well, the ship had lost about 6,000 feet, and I only had 1,500 feet of air between me and well, curtains.
How awful. What happened then?
Well, I kicked opposite rudder, pulled the stick, it took, the earth stopped spinning, and she slipped into as pretty a dive as you ever saw. Oh, say, that was as close as I ever want to be to that kind of a crack-up.
Well, why didn't you jump?
Oh, well, you know, feller always likes to bring his ship back in one piece. Looks nice on the record.
Hello, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, hiya there, Bowers. Do you know Miss St. John?
Why, of course. How do you do, Lieutenant?
How do you do, Miss St. John?
Oh, well, then you do know each other. Well, I'll get along. Glad to see you, Bowers. So long.
Oh, wait a minute, Sonny.
Huh?
Did I just hear the lieutenant telling the pretty lady a flying story?
Yes, he was telling me about a tight spin his plane got into.
Oh?
I think you men take too many chances. It's bad enough when you have to take them. Oh, but terrible things might happen.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes terrible things do happen to pilots who take chances. Chances like telling such stories to civilians.
Oh, don't be silly. Lieutenant Town wasn't giving away any military secret.
Well, I'll be on my way now.
Not so fast. Miss St. John, do you mind telling me just the highlights of the story?
Oh, it was about a tailspin, and rather than jump and lose the ship, he fought it out and brought it down safely.
Uh-huh.
I don't see why that could be against regulations.
Oh, come on, Town. Tell the rest of the story, or I will.
Well, it could have happened that way.
Yeah, but it didn't. Come on now, fess up, or I'll recommend you for the Paddle Club.
The what club?
That, miss, is a most exclusive gathering to which tall storytellers are admitted by way of a canoe paddle, applied in such a manner that one eats from a shelf for some time.
Lieutenant Town. So I've been spoofed, have I?
Oh, well, yes and no, Miss St. John. The details are factual, but it didn't happen up in the air in a real plane. It was in a link trainer.
Yes, it was in a link trainer, only 3 feet off the ground. He's never been up without an instructor.
Oh, I don't mind being kidded. It was just as interesting, though, as if it had actually happened. In fact, I think you made it sound more real than if it did happen. Oh, but now that you've told the truth, you're no longer eligible for the paddle club, are you?
No. Once the truth is told, that's the end of it.
Okay, Frank. And thank you, Miss St. John, for taking it like a sport. I really must be going now. So long.
Goodbye, and happy landings. Gosh, those kids are a wonderful bunch.
They sure are. He'll make a wonderful flyer someday. But the paddle club is a very necessary part of their training, too.
Yes, I guess so. Spare the paddle and spoil the pilot.
Oh, Kitty, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Hello, Jim. Oh, this is Lieutenant Bowers, Mr. Jim Bradley.
I do, Lieutenant.
Oh, very glad to know you, Mr. Bradley. A pleasure, sir.
Kitty, I've got to talk to you. We leave in half an hour.
We leave for where in half an hour, and why?
Well, I guess I'll mosey along, too. Glad to make your acquaintance, sir.
You too, sir. I'll be seeing you.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Lieutenant. I'll remember your club.
Well, you don't have to. Ladies can't join. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Where are we leaving for, Jim, and what's the rush?
Come on, I'll tell you while we walk over to your room. I don't know our final destination, but we're leaving for Puerto Rico right now.
Oh, Jim, it's another case.
Oh, maybe it might develop into one, but right now it's only an idea.
And I thought you were going to rest up, take a little vacation, just do nothing for a while.
Yes, Kitty, I thought so too, but you know how things pop up.
Well, what popped now? Beard's brother?
No. All I know is the Navy sighted a strange, unmarked, and unidentified submarine, which they believe is based secretly off the South American coast. And we might have to find that base.
We? Can't the Navy find anything? Can't the Army protect their old canal without your getting all shot up doing it?
Why, Kitty, I'm surprised at you.
Well, don't be. You're hardly recovered from that operation, and here we go traipsing off. Off you don't even know where. It's not fair to yourself.
Kitty, I'm as strong as an ox. And don't you try to kid your Uncle Jim. Why, you wouldn't stay behind even if I gave you a chance to, which I won't. Now, how do you like that?
Well, I don't like it. But I guess I'll go anyway.
Atta girl, Kitty. And I believe you'll bring us good luck. Here you are now. You pack, and I'll meet you at the airport in 20 minutes.
Okay, Jim. See you then.
Goodbye, Jim. Goodbye, Miss St. John.
Goodbye, Colonel Barrett.
So long, Colonel.
Goodbye, Colonel.
Give Colonel Cripps my regards when you see him. He'll probably meet you at the field. Happy landing.
Thanks, Colonel. I'll keep in touch with you. There it is, Kitty. That pretty little ribbon of water is the precious Panama Canal.
It's a beautiful sight. But aren't we flying in the wrong direction? Puerto Rico's north of here, isn't it?
Sure it is. That's the way we're going, northeast.
No, Jim, we're flying south. The canal is back there.
Now, Kitty, you don't mean to tell me you don't know which way the Panama Canal goes.
Sure, east and west.
No, ma'am. The isthmus makes a sharp bend. And when using the canal to travel from the Atlantic to the Pacific, you actually travel east by south, contrary to popular belief.
Well, what do you know about that? No wonder they call it the beautiful blue Caribbean. Looks like a picture. Too colorful to be real.
Yes, it's lovely, all right. But under those waves somewhere may be just the sub we're looking for.
Oh, maybe it was a whale or some big fish they saw, Jim. Maybe it'll turn out to be a false alarm. At least I hope so.
Well, I guess the authorities would be just as well satisfied if you're right. They have plenty to do now to get our own bases ready without trying to find some belonging to an enemy.
How much longer is the trip, Jim?
Oh, I'd say we made it just about halfway by now.
Jim, the color of that water fascinates me.
Me too, Kitty. Why, it's beautiful.
And it changes, too. See over there?
Good golly, Kitty. Do you see what I see?
Where?
Over there.
Sure, that's where it changes. That patch is darker.
That's not a change in color, Kitty. That's the shadow of a submarine.
A submarine is sighted by Jim from the observation post of the flying fortress, which is bringing them to Puerto Rico. What can they do about it? Don't miss the next exciting episode of The Adventures of Jungle Jim. Remember, you can follow these adventures in the full-color action pictures to be found in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest comic supplement containing the best full-color adventure and comic pictures. Remember, no other comic supplement can give you the top names of Cartoonland, like the all-star favorites to be found in the Comic Weekly. The whole family follows the fun and frolics of Jiggs and Maggie, the Little King, the immortal Donald Duck, as well as the exciting adventures of Jungle Jim and Flash Gordon. Join the 11 million adults and the 6 million youngsters who every week find the greatest of home entertainment in the Comic Weekly, which comes to you with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. More thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim will be heard at this time next week over this station. Be sure to tune in.
Stay tuned next for Front Page Drama.
Front Page Drama. The roar of the presses. Every week these giant presses roll and keep rolling at tremendous speed, 15,000 an hour, until every last one of the 7 million copies of the American Weekly has gone through in full color.
Great fiction.
Interesting features.
Factual articles. Color illustrations.
All these are found in every issue of the American Weekly. All these go to make up the nation's reading habit. Another name for the American Weekly, which comes to you every week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. Ever since the German occupation of Paris, Maxims, that world-renowned restaurant, immortalized in story, theater, and screen, has become a veritable oasis of luxury in the very heart of the stricken and desolate city. But Maxims has also become the headquarters of the sinister Black Bourse, the secret yet notorious marketplace for all manner of illicit transactions between Frenchmen and wealthy foreigners on the one hand, and the corrupt Nazi officials on the other. It all began immediately after the occupation of Paris by the Germans. One day, Monsieur Albert, the proprietor of this internationally famous rendezvous, received a high German official.
So you see, monsieur, we want Paris to resume its normal way of living. We want to show the world But the Germans are not the ruthless, uncultured Huns the British propagandists make us out to be.
That is indeed most reassuring, mon colonel. And I pledge you my most earnest cooperation. Now, what can I do?
Open Maxims at once. Business as usual. What would Paris be without Maxims? You must restore Maxims to its rightful place. Gaiety, good food, rare wine.
Oui, mon colonel, that is very simple to say, but interesting. Regulations.
Do not worry. We will arrange all that.
Merci. Then it shall be as you request. Maxims shall be the Maxims of old.
Excellent, Monsieur Albert. Of course, there are a few little details of a rather confidential nature to discuss first.
Certainly, oui, mon colonel, that is to be expected. You can rely upon me. I have been the confidant of the world's most distinguished people for many, many years.
Excellent, Monsieur Albert. That is what I am getting at. Many wealthy and distinguished people come to you for all manner of favor. Through my influence, you will be able to grant most of them. In return, of course, for a certain price.
Of course, I understand perfectly. You realize, too, that in some of these transactions it will be necessary to take my advisors into my confidence?
Naturally, we expect that. What is more, we expect to pay them. And yourself. Liberal commissions for all these transactions.
You are most gracious, mon colonel. I'm quite sure we can build up a most profitable business here. Rest assured I shall proceed with the utmost caution and discretion.
Good. Now, for safety and convenience, I will have one of my personal representatives call upon you each night. He will be dressed in formal evening attire and will identify himself as the Baron.
An excellent idea, mon colonel. Tell me what you expect to charge, what favors you can grant. Here, a maximum of Louis Sanson. Body. For His Excellency, Dr. Gobel's body. Louis, a truffle turkey for His Excellency, Marshal Goering's table.
Monsieur Albert.
Oui, Your Excellency, le matin.
Tell me, Albert, who is that very charming young woman with exactly Dr. Gobel?
The brunette, Your Excellency, is Jenny Hugo, a cinema actress.
999, the one on the left.
That one, she is Corinne Lucier, the cinema star. She was celebrated for her performance in Prison with Our Bars. She has just been awarded a contract with the German UFA, Excellency. Dr. Goebbels has been taking her out every evening. Her father, you know, is a good friend of His Excellency Otto Abbas, the German ambassador. Mr. Lucier has just been appointed director of the newspapers Le Matin et Le Nouveau Temps.
How interesting. Merci, Monsieur Albert.
Shall we say no, Mr. Bill? You are mistaken, my friend. There's always room for me. Kindly tell Monsieur Albert that tonight I am the Baron.
Oh, pardon, sir. I shall notify Monsieur Albert at once. Monsieur. You are the Baron? I do not believe you have ever been here before.
I have been appointed to represent Colonel von Reichsnecker. Never mind my name. I'm an officer of the German Army of Occupation. I don't want a table. I'm alone. I much prefer joining the ladies at the bar.
Very well, Monsieur le Baron. Come right this way.
The Colonel has instructed me to tell you that you and your associates had better be more discreet in the future. Our little business transactions are to remain strictly entre nous.
Monsieur le Baron, I understand perfectly.
And if your head waiters cannot learn to hold their tongues, we shall be obliged not only to put an end to our dealings with you, which would surely be a loss to everyone concerned, including ourselves, that we should find ourselves forced to take certain steps which would include closing your establishment.
Monsieur.
And quite possibly your arrest.
I hasten to assure you, mon colonel, that I too shall do everything in my power to comply with your orders.
You understand perfectly well, of course, that we cannot permit any sort of scandal to leak out.
But of course.
In short, if you should dare, under any circumstances whatever, to accuse an officer of the glorious German army of bribery and corruption, the consequences for you would be unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Heil Hitler.
Monsieur Albert, the President has requested I want.
Who is it this time?
Mademoiselle Laïe-Ressel, your actress motion picture directress, monsieur. She demands her favorite tableau.
Is it occupied?
Mais oui, Monsieur Albert.
Fräulein Ressel is a great favorite of our glorious German, Monsieur Albert. Vacate her favorite table unless you wish to court trouble. Heil Hitler.
Oui. Monsieur le Baron, have one.
A dry martini.
No, I will not. I do not go out with a Freudelin. I will go with any Freudelin.
Look, I give you extra ration cards for meat and bread for yourself and your family, too. You won't be hungry anymore.
No, I won't. I won't go out with that German.
You fool. You idiot. If you won't go out with that German, whom will you go with? Has anyone else in Paris any money? The Americans are moved out. The English are in concentration camps, and the Frenchmen haven't got any money left.
No, I won't. I don't want to go out. Take your hands off me.
You don't want to go out with me, eh? I suppose you love these Englishmen. Dirty little Anglophile, that's what you are. And what are you doing in here anyway? Spying on us? You just wait. I mentioned your name to the Gestapo. You know what happened to your little friend Marguerite, don't you? We took care of her yesterday. It will be your turn next.
Quiet! No scandal. Put your hand over the mouth of this hysterical woman. You. And you. Take your comrade out of here by the side door. Leave your name. You, her Oberleutnant.
Yeah.
You will go to the hospital and have your face bandaged. Then present yourself to your regimental headquarters for arrest.
Yeah.
You take this woman out by the same door. Deliver her to the next patrol. Tell the officer to have the case referred to me tomorrow morning. Waiter, shut that door. And Marshal Goering is standing out there. This incident must not be permitted to disturb His Excellency when he's enjoying a moment of well-earned relaxation. Hurry! Schnell! Now, Henry. Where's that martini I ordered?
Already, Monsieur le Baron.
Excellent. Indeed. I enjoy it all the more now that we have peace and quiet again.
Monsieur le Baron. Could you spare just one moment?
Huh? Very gladly, my friend. Lead the way. I will follow.
First, is a businessman who wants a permit to cross the line of demarcation between the occupied and unoccupied zones.
Jew or Aryan?
Aryan, a very distinguished gentleman. He wants to take the trip to settle some family business. I assure you he will not be any trouble at all.
You will show him to me. What's his name?
Jacques Merivelle. He owns a watch factory, watches and clocks.
25,000 francs.
25,000? Why, you put the price up. 5,000?
Well, in view of your dishonest client...
Oh, please, Monsieur le Baron.
Your unscrupulous clients who try to take advantage of travel permits to transfer money and valuables, the price is 25,000 francs. That's final.
Very well, Monsieur le Baron.
Come now. What about the other matter?
I have a client who wants to have his son released from a prison camp.
Jew or Aryan?
Aryan.
What offense has he been charged with?
Well, that's the strange part of it, Monsieur le Baron. There has been no formal charge of any kind like against him.
What? Come now, Monsieur Albert. Don't be ridiculous. We Germans do not imprison innocent law-abiding citizens. Are you sure it's not a criminal or military violation?
Pardon, I am positive.
Very well, the man must be guilty of something. Most likely a political offense, which is serious enough. Who is his family?
A very good one. Delacour, a still foundry concern.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's munitions and things. 50,000 francs will secure his release in safe custody.
Monsieur le Baron, 50,000 francs is a tremendous sum. The man is innocent of any wrongdoing.
50,000 is little enough. Besides, a prolonged stay in a concentration camp might seriously undermine his health. He might even die.
It's rather very hard bargain, Monsieur le Baron.
Come, Mr. Albert. People who ask such favors must be prepared to meet our price. What's the other case you spoke of?
A prominent lawyer wants to be appointed administrator of a Jewish business concern that has been placed under sequestration.
Well, this is different. Very tasty morsel to select. What is the business worth?
It does $1.5 million in normal times.
$1.5 million. I'd like to take over that business myself. But I have my duty as a soldier. So, well, if the client in question will pay as much as 50,000 down, we'll appoint him administrator and then make arrangements about a share of the profit. His name?
Monsieur Gaston Chercheon.
Well, now, I hate to be mercenary, Monsieur Albert, but you know the rules. I do the money, 125,000 francs, less the regular commission.
Maybe, Monsieur le Baron, you will find it all here. You will notice that part of it is in American dollars.
Good. That's good. It will come in very handy, Monsieur Albert. I wish you could secure many more of these American dollars. But enough of the sordid details of business. How about my dinner?
Yes, Monsieur le Baron. Will you have it here?
Of course not. In my private dining room, the Louis XVI Salon, Albert.
And what shall it be?
What food? What? Let me see now. First, make up some fresh hors d'oeuvres. Be sure they are freshly made.
Be sure, monsieur.
Onion soup, a choice filet of sole, and, fresh duck, nice green salad, Roquefort cheese dressing. But remember, the very best Roquefort, none of the stale pieces around the kitchen.
Oui, monsieur, I understand.
And my weakness, monsieur, is French pastry. You have a reputation for it. Coffee and, of course, wine with each course and cognac to finish. Some of that rare old Napoleon brandy will do, yes. Bring in the bottle unopened, you hear?
Oui, monsieur, I will attend to everything first.
skies over the city are commencing to brighten with daylight. At Maxims, the celebrated restaurant and haunt in the Rue Royale, orders are being given for still one more bottle of champagne, for still another delicate tidbit. But outside, on the streets not far away, and since long before the cold dawn of this morning, long lines have been forming and standing in front of the food stores. Old men and women and younger women and mere children, too, with sad, pinched faces, cold and hungry and tired, waiting in the hope that today, when they present their ration cards, they may be able to buy a little bread, a thin slice of horsemeat, or some vegetables, perhaps. This is Paris in the month of February, 1941, an evening at Maxims. You have just heard the front page drama, An Evening at Maxims, a dramatic cavalcade of events in one evening at Maxims in February 1941. This unusual front page drama is dramatized from a feature article by the eminent French editor and writer Jacques Lerminat. Everyone will want to read Chez Maxims, An Evening with the Nazis. It is a highly colorful and dramatic story of the Nazi occupation of Paris. Don't miss this feature article in next Sunday's American Weekly, the magazine with the greatest circulation in the world that comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper.
Stay tuned next for Edgar A. Guest.
It takes a heap of living in a house to make it home, a heap of sun and shadow.
From the land of the sky, blue water,
The makers of Land O'Lakes Sweet Cream Butter present Edgar A. Guest with Eddie Howard. A bit of music, a bit of verse, a bit of common sense to make your next 15 minutes a bit brighter.
from the land of the sky, blue water.
I learned a lot of things from my garden. Not all connected with flowers either, but some things very closely related to life itself. I first began years and years ago. That little garden was built on the toughest yellow clay the state of Michigan could produce. And for 9 years I battled it. Used to hope for the day would come when I'd have just plain black loam. Then the second garden was yellow clay, and I had to battle all over again, go through it. Used to go into it and say, Mother, just one dream and one wish. I'll have black loam. And finally, after 9 more years, we got the black loam garden. And then I couldn't raise any roses. And I wondered why, and I sent out to Monroe for a nursery friend of mine, and he took one look at failing rose beds and said, Shucks, Eddie, you want roses, what you've got to have is yellow clay. All the time I'd been hating the thing that had been giving me the blossoms. It was difficult to work with. It was stubborn yellow clay. So we dug it from the garden and we threw it all away, and we bought a load of black soil, very rich and very black, which with scarcely any effort would with roses pay us back. Yellow clay is dull to work with, and it bakes beneath the sun, and the man who has to fight it knows his work is never done. So we threw it in the alley. For impatient folks are we, and we wanted flowers in summer without such a costly fee. But our roses failed to flourish, and we saw them pine and die. And we called upon a gardener who knew to tell us why. He looked the bushes over in his wise and kindly way and said, if you want roses, What you need is yellow clay. In our ignorance, we'd fancied only richer soils were good, that the yellow clay held virtues we had never understood. It had seemed so dull and heavy. But we found to our dismay we had the stuff for roses, but had thrown it all away.
June's the time for roses. June's the time for love. June's the time for laughter when the sunshine gleams above. Soon will come September. Life will be so gray. So live each golden moment before it fades away. For June's the time for wonderful roses, the time for
I told these Land O'Lakes boys they needn't bother writing out things for me to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the program. Save your adjectives for something else that may need 'em, I said. I'll just talk to the folks out there offhand, or ad lib, as you call it. I think I can describe 100,000 farmers banded together to make Land O'Lakes sweet cream butter, so they'll not only hear about, but actually see that sort of an organization. Every morning, 100,000 farmers take to one of 500 conveniently located creameries their sweet cream to be churned while it is still sweet. And every one of those 100,000 farmers is personally interested in Land O'Lakes' success. It's his pride that the Land O'Lakes package is a symbol for the best. I just don't know how to say this to you. But I would think if a friend of mine in trouble went somewhere else for aid, sympathy, or both myself and the home were failures. I think that's what the home is established for, as a meeting place for friendships. And one day I tried to do what I call a bit for a friendly hearth. We would not have you go elsewhere when heart and mind and body tire beneath life's load of grief and care to seek a friendlier fire. Tap at our door. A welcome waits as warm as are the logs aglow. The buffetings of all the fates we understand and know. Come here. For you a chair is kept. Unburden here your troubled mind. Perhaps, for all the tears you've wept, some comfort we can find. Come from the sunshine or the storm. Come where the skies be gray or blue. This hearth with sympathy is warm. Our hearts have room for you.
The way is long, the night is dark, but I don't mind, 'cause a happy lark will be singing at the end of the road. I can't go wrong, I must go right. I'll find my way, 'cause a guiding light will be shining at the end of the road. There may be thorns in my path, but I'll wear a smile, 'cause in a little while my path will be roses. The rain may fall from up above, but I won't stop, 'cause the one I love will be waiting at the end of the road.
I think it's a generally accepted fact that there just isn't any finer tasting butter than Land O'Lakes sweet cream butter. Churned only from fresh, sweet cream, it adds the final flavor touch to all your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, I think most women realize that. But ladies, think back now. Aren't there some of you who sort of have the idea that any old butter will do for cooking? Who doesn't would probably be a more accurate question. But the next time you're planning a special cake or pie, if you use Land O'Lakes butter, you'll quickly discover that sweet cream butter adds an extra flavor goodness to your cakes and pies and puddings, just as it does to breakfast toast or bread. Yes, ma'am, if you want to turn out a really perfect cake, then Land O'Lakes butter should be one of the ingredients. Try it next time, and of course serve it at your table. Use it in all your cooking and baking. Once you do, you'll never want to use any other butter. Next time, ask your grocer for Land O'Lakes sweet cream butter. Look for the Indian girl on the package.
Slumber, my darling, wander away into the land of the Sandman and dreams, nestling so closely, head on my breast. All of your prayers have been answered, it seems. Now when I hold you and fold you, thoughts come to guide me through dark clouds to where skies are blue. So snuggle, my lovely, kiss me and then quietly slumber, my darling, sweet dream.
Eddie Howard, and you too, Jim Dickett, out there in the control room. I want you boys to know that I shall always remember with pride that I was among the very first to hear that beautiful new song, and how gorgeously it fits the thing I want to do, because as a father I was never a singer of lullabies, but I thought the happiest job that I ever had was always before I went to bed myself to slip into their rooms and straighten them out and fix the covers around them properly. I like to tiptoe around her when she's lying fast asleep and straighten out the covers where she's kicked them in a heap. And when I find her sprawling kitty corner on the bed, I think it fun to set her right, that lovely sleepy head. Oh, whether late or early I'm retiring for the night, I slip into her bedroom just to see that she's all right. I stand and gaze upon her, and I chuckle when I see her feet are on the pillow where her little head should be. She's grown so very lively that she can't stay still at all. The moment that she drops asleep, she starts right into crawl. And sometimes, like a woolly dog, as comfy as you please, I've found her lost in dreamland with her head between her knees. Oh, I have tasks that weary me and tasks that I detest. The mother's always calling me to work when I would rest. But straightening out a little girl who's sleeping wrong end to, I'd call the happiest task on earth a father has to do.
from the land of the sky, blue water.
You have been listening to the poems of Edgar A. Guest and the songs of Eddie Howard. And remember, for extra freshness, extra flavor, buy Land O'Lakes, the world's largest selling sweet cream butter. Your grocer has it for you. This is Vincent Pelletier speaking.
From the land of the sky, blue water.
Four very short lines about one of the differences between what is best and what is just ordinary. Merit is that enduring stuff which mortals praise. It beats the thing called good enough 1,000 ways.
Stay tuned next for the Green Hornet.
With his faithful valet Cato, Britt Reed, daring young publisher, matches wits with the underworld, risking his life that criminals and racketeers within the law may feel its weight by the sting of the Green Hornet. Ride with Britt Reed as he races toward another thrilling adventure. The Green Hornet strikes again.
Hurry, Cato. Here's where we smash the counterfeiting rackets.
Okay, cabby, hit those brakes. This is it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep the change. Hey, Moran. Sergeant Moran. Is it still on the stove?
Huh? Who's that? Oh, you, Lowry. What's the Sentinel got, a pipeline to a fortune teller? How do you know there's going to be a raid?
Listen, pal, I can smell a story brewing. What gives?
Counterfeit ring. Federal man called the commissioner for some local help, and I was elected.
Got the place surrounded, huh?
All the way. Oh, here's the federal man now.
All right, Sergeant, it's in the cellar. Make sure that nothing is touched.
Yes, sir.
The whistle?
Yes, the signal, Lowry. Some of the boys go in through the back. We're hitting the cellar door. All right, you men, inside. Valerie, Colton, guard the door. The rest of you this way.
Hey, Moran, look at the layout.
Here, Lowry, that was a straight tip.
Printing presses, paper, ink, the whole works. And look at those bills. Wonder how good they are as counterfeit.
Hands off. Don't touch that stuff. The same goes for you guys. Don't touch a thing. That's federal property.
Everything here but the crooks.
Yeah. Any of you men locate anybody? Closets, going out the windows, back door?
I guess they got away ahead of time, Sergeant. Thanks for your help anyway.
What the? Come back here, you...
I got him, Moran.
Careful, Lowry. He may be tough.
Let go of me. Let go of me. I ain't done nothing. Wait a minute. What kind of a raid is this? He's only a kid.
I'm the boy's mother, Mr. Reed. Mr. Lowry, your reporter, was at the police station. I come over here with him.
That's right, boss. I couldn't get the kid over for an interview with pictures, so the next best thing was Mrs. Sutton.
Rain up, Lowry. The Sentinel doesn't force interviews.
But, boss, it's a natural for sob stuff.
Let me handle this, Lowry. Mrs. Sutton, your boy is still at the police station?
Yes, they're asking Tommy questions about
that counterfeiting ring?
I hope he tells them what he knows. Tommy's really a good boy, Mr. Reed, a good boy. Of course, he's a little bit wild. Gets that from his father, I suppose, but he never meant to get in with thieves and crooks.
How old is Tommy, Mrs. Sutton?
He was 16 just 2 weeks ago.
Seems to me he's old enough to know what's going on.
But he didn't, honestly. That's what the police thought, too. But Tommy didn't mean to get mixed up in it. I told the police the whole thing, all about Snell and the other...
Hey, hold on. Did you say Snell?
Yes.
Boss, did you hear that? Snell's a big shot in the underworld. You mean he's heading this counterfeit racket?
That's what Tommy told me, and I told the police.
Oh, just a moment, Mrs. Sutton. If you told the police, why are they still holding Tommy?
Tommy won't talk, Mr. Reed.
Well, why not? He'd merely repeat what you said.
Well, they said something about it wouldn't be legal. I couldn't be sure.
Oh, yes, that's right. Just repeating what someone else told you, that wouldn't hold up in court.
Huh?
Well, that's hearsay evidence, Lowry. Unless Tommy tells his own story in his own words, it doesn't count.
That's it, yes. But Tommy didn't mean to get into it. I know he didn't. He was frightened, that's all.
Mrs. Sutton.
Yes?
Suppose you tell me what happened to Tommy. Tell it to me just as he told it to you.
From the beginning?
All the way.
Well, Tommy told me it started about 2 months ago. I'd sent him down the street for a loaf of bread. It was about 5 in the afternoon. And there was a man standing on the street corner. And when Tommy come up to where he was...
Hey, you.
Huh?
You, kid.
You talking to me, mister?
Yes, son. Do me a favor, will you?
Well, I gotta get home. Ma expects...
It won't take a minute, son. Just go into that store across the street and get me a couple of packs of cigarettes.
Well, I don't mind. What kind?
Well, any kind, kid, any kind.
Well, why don't you go yourself?
Well, I'm waiting for a friend to pick me up in his car. I don't want to miss him. Get it?
Oh, sure. Sure, I'll do it.
Here's a 10 spot. Smallest I got. Don't forget your change.
I'll be right back, mister.
Already, Mrs. Sutton. That $10 bill was a counterfeit.
Yes, Mr. Reed, but Tommy didn't know that. Not until he got back from the store with the cigarettes and the change.
Here you are, mister. 2 packs of cigarettes and your change.
Thanks, kid. Have any trouble?
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
A $10 bill. Sometimes they squawk about changing it.
Oh, no, he had change.
Okay. Here's a dime for your trouble.
A dime just for going across the street? Gee.
Yeah, skip it.
Hey, now that I remember it, the man started to look at that $10 bill just when I was leaving.
Huh? What's that?
Yeah. Hey, look, there he is now. He's running out of the store.
What the... Come on.
Hey, let go of me.
Come on, around the corner.
What's the matter? I thought you were waiting for your friend to pick you up.
Button that lip and get moving before he sees you. Come on.
Beginning to sound like something, boss.
Yes, Laurie.
You heard about this when Tommy got home that evening, Mrs. Sutton?
He was late getting home, Mr. Reed, and I was so worried. The man ran him around the corner and took him in a cab. They got out of the cab on the other side of the city, and they went into a house and met a man named Snell.
Snell, that's the baby.
Quiet, Lowry.
It was down at the bottom of the stairs in the cellar. All the way, Tommy kept asking the man.
Hey, what's the idea? What's going on?
Downstairs, kid. Move.
Hey, easy. I gotta get home, mister. Oh.
Hello, kid. Another one, Mac?
Yes, Snell. We passed some of the queer and the sucker wised up. We took a powder.
Hey, listen, what's going on? I gotta get home.
Pipe down.
But I can't stand around. Oh.
I said pipe down. You don't know what this is all about, do you?
What's the idea of slapping me? I didn't do nothing.
Take a look around this cellar, kid.
Take a look. Hey, what's all that stuff?
That's a printing press. And that, see that there? That's ink and paper. And over here...
Gosh, all those bills. $10 bills like I gave to the storekeeper.
Here, take one. Look at it.
Gosh, it's... Hey, there's something wrong. This don't feel like a regular bill.
No?
It feels different, like... Hey, is this... This is phony?
Yeah, kid, phony. Counterfeit dough, yeah.
Counterfeit? You're crooks. Let me out of here. Let me go.
Hey, still.
I gotta get home. Let me get out of here.
Have the cops pick you up?
What do you mean?
That $10 bill you passed in the store. That was one of these.
But I didn't know it was counterfeit.
I tell the cops that. That storekeeper knows what you look like, kid.
But it wasn't mine. He gave it to me. I don't know.
Sure, I gave it to you. Don't make no difference if you didn't know.
But
The cops won't believe that. Not a chance.
Shit. They put me in jail, huh?
Might as well get smart, kid. You pass counterfeit money and you're in a tough spot. Now, if you're smart, you might just as well keep right on working.
Do it again? Oh, that's crooked.
Okay, if that's the way you want it. Let them go, Mac. The cops will grab them.
No, I can't go to jail.
Do we care? There's the door. Now, get
Gosh,
out.
I don't want to go to jail. Ma's going to think I'm bad or something. I can't go to jail.
Okay, kid. We won't turn you in.
Gee, thanks, mister. Thanks.
But from now on, you do like we say. You keep your mouth shut and you do just what we tell you. All the way.
Gee, mister, sure. Anything you say. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail.
whole story, Mr. Reed, just the way Tommy told it to me.
And he kept on passing their counterfeit money, Mrs. Sutton?
I think so. I couldn't get that part of it out of him. He's so frightened.
Doesn't he realize that he can send those men to jail? Doesn't he realize that the police wouldn't do anything to him?
Oh, it's hard to reason with a boy that young.
The poor kid. Yeah, he's scared stiff, Laurie.
If only he'd tell the police what he knows.
There must be something else that he's worried about, Mrs. Sutton.
I don't think so.
It doesn't seem probable. After all, the police must have told him over and over again that all they want to do is arrest the counterfeiters. What other threat could they make so that he'd refuse?
Maybe he hasn't refused. Maybe he's already told them. Oh, if only he would. Then they could arrest this Snell and the other one. And
Ma, where are you? Ma.
Tommy.
Oh, Ma.
Well, he came to the office like an Indian, Mr. Reed. I didn't have a chance to stop
Never
him.
mind, Miss Case. It's all right.
He's more worried about his mother than anything else, boss.
Yes, I noticed that, Laurie. Tommy.
Gee, Ma, you all right? Nothing's happened to you.
Tommy, what did you tell the police?
I didn't tell them nothing. Ma, when I got home and you weren't around, I got scared. I didn't...
There, son.
Tommy, the police must have told you they didn't want you. They want the counterfeiters.
Yeah, they told me.
Tommy, you helped the police, didn't you? You must have.
Ma, let's get back home, huh?
Tommy, what's got into you? You worry so much about me.
But it's a lot safer at home.
Why do you say that?
What?
You started to say it's a lot safer at home, Tommy. Safe from what? What do you mean?
Nothing.
And why are you so worried about your mother? What danger is she, and what did you mean?
Nothing, I tell you, nothing. Come on, Ma, let's get out of here. Let's go home. I ain't telling nobody nothing.
That poor kid. Gosh, Mr. Reed, he's all mixed up, isn't he?
That's obvious, Miss Case.
The way he was crying when he went out with his mother. And what you got from her, the whole story, it just
doesn't quite make sense, does it?
There's something missing. Some definite reason why he won't tell what he knows.
He knows a lot. I'm convinced of that, but...
Hey, boss, I got it.
Don't you ever arrive any place in low gear, Lowry?
Oh, what, Casey? Speed counts.
Save that for the lobster shift, you two. You saw the police commissioner, Lowry?
Right, I talked to the federal man, too. This thing's a regular racket.
Counterfeiting? That's not a racket. That's an out-and-out crime.
I don't think Lowry's talking about the counterfeiting angle itself, Miss Case.
I'm not, but how'd you know?
It concerns the way counterfeiters use boys like Tommy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the racket, boss.
Put me in on this, Lowry. Racket?
Yeah, Casey, this business of getting young kids to pass fake money and then get them involved so they keep on working for the combination. That's the racket.
Good grief, you mean...
Yes, Miss Case. Dozens of boys just like Tommy. They help out a stranger and they're in. And they're too scared to get out.
But that's not the headline, boss. Get this. Do you know where the federal men got their tip to raid that counterfeiting plant?
From the kid?
No.
Let's have it, Lowry.
Yeah, boss, right between the eyes. They got a note. And it came from the Green Hornet.
Sending that note, Cato, was the headline for the Daily Sentinel.
That's too bad, Mr. Red.
All your wanderings around town, all the time I spent at night, going out as the Green Hornet. Uncovering these crooks who make a racket of using innocent youngsters. But still, they haven't been caught.
But the police know who they are.
Sure, the police know. They know it's Snell and Mac. Thought they'd find them on the spot when they crashed that cellar, but they weren't there.
I see.
The result is that nothing can be proved. Snell is probably laughing at the police and the federal men right now.
We do something, Mr. Red?
We're going out as the Green Hornet, Cato. The Hornet started this, and it looks as if we'll have to finish it.
Yes?
Get that sliding panel open. We're going out in the Black Beauty.
Whitreed and Cato, with valet, stepped through the secret panel in the rear of his apartment. Then along a narrow passage that led within the wall of the apartment house and connected directly to an adjoining building. Seen from the street, this building was abandoned, boarded up and deserted. But inside stood the gleaming, super-powered Black Beauty, streamlined car of the Green Hornet.
The car's ready, Mr. Red.
Cato, you'll take the wheel. I'll check over the gas weapon.
Very well.
You sure it's fully loaded with gas?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the main point, Cato. For some reason, that boy Tommy's afraid to talk. It's more than fear for himself. He's been threatened. If no one else can find out what that threat was, then it's up to the Green Hornet to find out. Starting right now.
Okay, driver, good enough.
Is this where Snell lives, Lowry?
That's what he told the cops, Casey. Well, the change is all yours, cabby.
Yeah, I'll buy a stick of chewing gum.
Hey, did you hear that, Lug? How much does he want for a tip?
Well, after all, Lowry, 5 cents isn't very much.
Well, lay off, Casey. I have enough trouble getting my expense account by the auditor as it is. You know Potter.
Lowry, there's no need to tip cab drivers with the Sentinel's money. They're paid a regular salary.
Nuts.
I suppose that little Casey's got to stay outside while you go after that interview with Snell.
This isn't your assignment, Casey.
Oh, but Lowry...
But nothing, Bright Eyes. Every time you stick that pretty nose into a story, you get it smudged. The boss thinks a lot of you, Casey.
I hope so.
Hey, don't go coy on me. He wants you out of danger, see? And I'm not putting my neck on the chopping block and let you in on this. Now, stay here. I won't be long.
Oh, and I thought I was...
I'll tell you all about it if I get anything.
The next time I'll wear trousers. Maybe that'll work.
Maybe I'll get something. If I don't get thrown out on my kisser. Let's go inside, huh?
Listen, I just come back from police headquarters. I don't know nothing, huh?
Well, you must have thought my honorary fireman's badge was Detective Shield. I'm from the Daily Sentinel.
Smart reporter, huh? If I'd known you wasn't a detective,
You
I'd
never let me in. But I am in, so let's have a story, huh?
Story about what?
How about that counterfeiting plant? I guess you were pretty lucky not to be around there when that raid was pulled.
You reporters are worse than the cops.
Ain't it a fact? Do you and Mac make much money out of the racket?
Listen, wise guy. Me and Mac ain't got nothing to do with any crooked enterprise, see? Counterfeiting. Why, that's against the law.
Honest?
We're respectable, law-abiding citizens. You get it?
What do you live on, soap bubbles? From what I hear, you guys haven't got any visible means of support.
We got a gold mine in the backyard. And if you gotta know, we play the races. No law against that.
What about this kid, Tommy Sutton? He says you and Mac run the racket.
I never heard of him.
Careful, you almost slipped on that one. According to the Sentinel here, it was the Green Hornet who gave the police the tip-off on that counterfeiting plant. What's he doing, trying to drive out competition?
That Green Hornet ought to be put in a cooler. He's a dangerous crook.
You and him, huh?
Okay, that's enough out of you. I had to take it from the cops, but not from you, see? Now scram out of here.
You won't talk.
Get out before I...
Before you what?
Now listen,
All right, I'm going. But just go easy with those threats, understand? You can scare a kid like Tommy Sutton, scare him stiff. But you're just a plain rotten bum as far as I'm concerned, and if you want to make something of it, you'll get it back double.
Now, wait a minute, bud. I didn't mean nothing. You got me tabbed wrong, that's all. Guess I'm sore on edge.
No, I haven't got you tabbed wrong, Snell. If the Sentinel could print the truth, you'd be bold in printer's ink. But as it is,
No! You can't go in there.
Man, stop me one side, Snell.
Oh, wait a minute, you can't.
I'm getting a look. He didn't yell for fun.
Mac, Snelly, took the money. Shot. Can't breathe.
What happened to him?
Look me for a first edition. I must have been... The window, come on. There he goes. I saw it, Casey. Sure it was. It was a Hornet.
What happened? What was that car?
Never mind that, Snell. Max said the money was taken. What kind of money was that? Real or counterfeit?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not much you don't, brother. But just for your information, you can tell your partner in crime that the guy who grabbed it was the Green Hornet. How do you like that?
Come on, Max. Snap out of it.
Who was that guy? Who?
Come on. What did he take?
I didn't have time for nothing. I heard his step. Snell, he shot me. I seen him pull the trigger.
Stop looking. You ain't hurt.
Huh?
There wasn't no bullets. It was just gas.
Gas? Then I ain't wounded or nothing?
Nothing. What did he take?
Who was he, Snell? I seen the mask. There was something familiar about it,
You've
but...
seen plenty of pictures of that mask, you dope. That was a Green Hornet.
Hornet?
Yeah, and there was a reporter right out in the front room.
Well, how was I to know? It happened so sudden, Did I say something, Snell?
You said he took the money.
Yeah, I remember now.
Now, wait a minute. Answer me one thing. Did you burn that counterfeit money?
Snell. That's it. That's what he got.
Yeah, I figured
The
that.
counterfeit dough. Hey, that reporter ain't wise, is he?
Lucky for you, he ain't. All you said was money. You don't know whether it's real or phony.
That's a load off of my mind.
It is, huh? What about the Hornet? Wore gloves, didn't he?
Huh? Yeah, he wore gloves, but...
But nothing. You know the cops have ways of getting fingerprints off of paper? You and me are the only ones who touched those bills with bare hands.
Holy smoke, you mean...
I mean those bills match the ones the cops got in that raid. The Hornet turned those bills into the cops, they'd come looking for us.
That ain't no real proof. Besides, the Hornet wouldn't do that.
Maybe not. I'd sure like to know what he's doing right now.
This alley's deserted enough, Cato. Take a look at these bills.
You got them from Mac?
You were just about to burn them, Cato. They're counterfeits, just the same as those the police and the federal men got in the raid.
I see.
There might be fingerprints on them that'll check back to Snell and Mac.
You send them to the police?
No, Cato, that's not sure enough. I want those two rats pinned so tight they can't wriggle out of this cram no matter how much they try.
Is that a possibility, Mr. Bett?
It might be.
Well, how are you going?
Here, take my Hornet mask and wait here. I'm going to put in a phone call to Snell and Mac.
Who is this, Snell?
Talking. What do you want?
I have some money that belongs to you.
Yeah? Well, if this is a reporter, you're wasting your time.
It's not a reporter. You needn't mention any names. You know who's talking before I'm through.
I'm listening.
I decided not to turn this money over to the police.
You mean...
Not yet, at any rate. Perhaps you can make it worth my while to return it to you.
Yeah. You'd like to have it back, Hornet.
No names.
There ain't no one listening, Hornet. When can we get that dough back?
I'll call you later about that. Right now, I have to see someone.
You gotta see someone, huh? Say, listen, Hornet, not that it makes any difference, but where'd you get your dope? How'd you know about me and Mac?
You shouldn't let kids know so much, Snell.
Never mind the kids. Where do you get your information?
Figure that out for yourself. Goodbye.
Hornet, hey, just a...
Well?
He didn't say. Hung up on me.
You don't have to look at me. I never told a Hornet nothing. Never.
Yeah, I was thinking of you, Mac. But from something the Hornet let slip, I got a better idea.
Yeah?
Yeah. He said something about letting kids know too much. You got it, Mac?
Kids know too much.
That Sutton kid, for instance. Maybe that's it.
You're nuts, Snell. That kid wouldn't talk.
No?
We got him scared stiff. You remember? We told him if he blabbed, something would happen to his old lady.
So what?
Well, that's why he didn't crack to the police.
Yeah, Mac. But the Hornet's different from the police. Suppose the Hornet put the B on the kid. Suppose he showed up in his mask and gun.
Supposing don't count.
It does when it adds up, Mac. Grab your gun. We're giving that kid a lesson.
We're going over there?
Yeah. Why not?
You close there, Mr. Witt?
All set, Cato. I gave him just enough to make him think Tommy Sutton had talked to the Hornet.
I see.
He'll be heading for there right now. Think we can get there ahead of him?
Yes, sir. Very easy.
Well, with all the speed we can get out of the Black Beauty. Now, step on it, Cato.
Ma, did you get a look at that car that went along the alley?
Car? No, Tommy. Why?
Well, nothing much, only it looked like that car the Green Hornet's supposed to drive. Kind of low and awful fast.
Tommy, you must be seeing things.
Looked like the pictures, Ma.
Tommy, I'm worried. Tommy, why won't you tell the police what you told me about those counterfeiters?
Oh, Ma, I can't. Honest, I can't.
If you're afraid,
No, I ain't afraid. Not for me, I ain't.
Not for you. But who would...
Ma, I can't, that's all. I just can't.
If I only knew what to do. What's that?
Ma! Hey, Ma, maybe you better call the police and tell them. That sounded like the horn the Green Hornet uses.
Police headquarters. Sergeant Moran talking.
Police? My son thinks he heard the Green Hornet car.
Oh, Green Hornet car, huh? Yeah, your son and everybody else. We get more false alarms than the fire department.
But he saw it, too.
Yes, ma'am. Might as well give me your name and address.
This is Mrs. Sutton at 2104 West 87th.
2104 West. Hey, wait a minute. Your son, is he that Tommy Sutton kid?
Yes, he is.
The counterfeiting ring. Okay, stay right where you are. Hey, roll out the squad car. Step on it. I'll give the sentinel a flash on this one.
But Lowry, if the Green Hornet is involved
Casey,
in all
don't
this...
bother me. I got to wrap this out for the next edition of the Sentinel. Now, I got it. Lowry speaking. Yeah, Moran, if you've got anything, let's... What? The Hornet? Yes, sir.
Lowry, what is it? What's going on?
Can't wait, Casey. Moran's going to pick me up in 2 minutes. He got a tip on the Green Hornet.
How's it look, Mac?
Okay, Snell.
Nobody around?
Don't see a thing. The alley looks empty, too.
Okay, come on.
You going up to the front door?
We'll scout around a little first. Look in them windows and get a line on the place.
Maybe we'll spot the kid, huh?
If we do, this'll be a cinch.
This window?
Take a look. Keep your gun handy.
Nothing in there.
Okay. Now take a look at that other window.
Right with you.
It's lighted. Don't get too close. I can Looking at the corner. Well, what do you see? The kid. He's all alone. Ain't that too bad? Give me your gun, Mac.
Don't shoot through the glass. The bullet won't go straight.
Yeah. I'll get rid of the glass first. Now stand back.
No, you don't smell.
What the Mac? Look out, it's a Hornet. Drop that! Slug him, Mac. Scully's got me. Look out, another guy behind you.
Give it to him.
You got Mac, but try and get me. I'll show you
This
what
is
to
for
do.
you rat. Take it.
Oh, gas, I can't breathe.
Hurry, put those bills in his pocket. We've got to move out of here.
Yes, sir.
Paul, was the Green Hornet, boy. I seen him. I seen him, I tell you. It was the Green Hornet. They were fighting right outside this window. Did he shoot him?
How are they, Moran?
Out cold, Lowry. Gas. It was the Hornet, all right.
Tommy, my boy, you sure you're all right?
Yeah, Ma, I'm okay, honest. I want to say something, though. I got to talk to the policeman.
Well, here he is, son. Sergeant Moran.
Hey, a couple of you boys take these crooks and slap in the police wagon. They'll wake up in the jug. Hey, son. What is it?
Well, I want to tell you why I didn't talk about them guys before.
Yeah?
Well, you got them now, haven't you? They'll go to jail?
That's right.
Then I can tell you. They said if I talked, they'd hurt Mom, but, well, now they can't. They can't. Mister, those two are the fellas that run that counterfeiting racket. Honest.
Thanks, son. That'll help. But we got enough on them anyway. Lowry, take a look at this. It was stuffed in Snell's pocket.
Holy mackerel. Counterfeit money.
Right. It sews the case up tight. The same money we found in that raid.
Mr. Lowry. Is Mr. Lowry here?
Yes, what is it?
There's a woman on the phone, a Miss Case from the Sentinel. She says...
Holy mackerel, gangway. I forgot all about pulling the story in. What a headline.
Sentinel X paper! Leaders of counterfeit ring jail as youngster talk. Read all Hornets to alert. Sentinel X paper!
Stay tuned for the Your Hit Parade Jukebox.
Your Hit Parade. The top tunes all over America as determined by Your Hit Parade survey, which checks the bestsellers in sheet music and phonograph records, the songs most heard on the air, and the songs most played on the automatic coin machines. An accurate, authentic tabulation of America's taste in popular music. Your Hit Parade.
I'm Henry Chop with a pocket full of nickels for the Hit Parade Jukebox. Let's count them down. We have two songs leaving the chart this week. Number 10, Lullaby Lane by Tony Pastor, which was number 10 last week, and there'll be some changes made by the King of Swing, Benny Goodman and his orchestra, which was number 8 last week.
Wasn't it a lucky thing that we got caught in the rain
and found ourselves on the doorstep of number 10 Lullaby Lane?
And wasn't it a lucky thing
The man came out to explain that we were just the right people
for number 10 Lullaby Lane?
He told us we could move right in if we would sign the lease.
But when we said we weren't wed,
He said he was also the justice of the peace.
So if you're in the neighborhood.
And you get caught in the rain,
You'll find us waiting to greet you
at number 10 Lullaby Lane. Look, honey, isn't that a cute little house?
I'll say it is. Say, I wonder if anybody's bought it yet.
Well, let's go and ask the caretaker.
All right.
Pardon me, sir. Is this house sold?
No, ma'am, it isn't. Won't you step inside? It's just waiting for a happy groom and bride.
Well, we're not married. I haven't even asked her.
Well, step right in. I'm the master. So if you're in the neighborhood
and you get caught in the rain,
you'll find us waiting to greet you.
Number 10, Lullaby Lane.
The band leader that has the number 10 song this week, down from number 7, is dominating the chart along with his brother. They have 6 songs in the top 10. Here's Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra with Frank Sinatra on the vocals and Oh, Look at Me Now.
I'm not the guy who cared about love, and I'm not the guy who cared about fortunes and such. Never cared much.
oh, look at you now.
I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. Never knew much.
Oh, look at you now. for a new man better than Casanova at his best.
With a new heart, a brand new start, I'm so proud I'm busting my vest.
So you're the guy who turned out a lover.
Yes, I'm the guy who laughed at those blue diamond rings. One of those things.
But look at you now.
He's not the guy who cared about love, and he's not the guy who cared about fortunes and such. Cared about much, but look at him now.
I'm a lover.
He never knew the technique of kissing. He never knew the thrill he could get from her touch. Never knew much, but look at him now.
Man, I really come on.
He's a new man better than
Casanova at his best, Rada.
With a new start, a brand new heart.
He's so proud he's busting his vest. So he's the guy who turned out a lover. So he's the guy who laughed at those blue diamond rings. One of those things.
But look at me now.
He's a new man better than Casanova at his best. He's got some new jive and it's really fine.
Why, I'm so proud I'm busting my vest.
He's a lover. Yes, we know he's a lover. Yes.
I laughed at those blue diamond rings. Just one of those things.
But look at him now.
Jack, I'm ready.
Look at him now.
Our number 9 song this week is a debut. It comes from the stage play Hell's a Poppin'. Here is Horace Heidt and his musical Knights with Goodbye Now.
Goodbye now, goodbye now. I thought the party was divine. I spent the evening forgetting the time. I can't deny, but now goodbye. Goodbye now, goodbye now. The trip by taxi wasn't far. We'd linger longer if I had a car. It's no use to cry, and now goodbye. There's one advantage to our leaving. It brings about a special kiss. I hope that this will be eternally a momentary parting, just a second, then we're starting. So goodbye now, goodbye now. It's just a moment that we're apart. To make it certain, I'll leave you my heart. But for now, it's just goodbye now. There's one advantage to our leaving. it brings about a special kiss. I hope that this will be eternally a momentary parting, just a second, then we're starting. So goodbye now. Goodbye. It's just a moment that we're apart. To make it certain, I'll leave you my heart. But for now, it's just goodbye now.
At number 8 this week, up from number 9, it's Tommy's brother Jimmy Dorsey and the orchestra with Bob Eberly on the vocals and Maria Elena.
Maria Elena, you're the answer to a prayer. Maria Elena, can't you see how much I care? To me, your voice is like the echo of a sigh, and when you're near, my heart can't speak above a sigh. Maria Elena, say that we will never part. Maria Elena, take me to your heart. A love like mine is great enough for two. To share this love is really all I ask of you.
And our second debut song this week at number 7 by Jimmy Dorsey and the orchestra, once again with Bob Eberly on the vocals. Boy, those brothers are hot right now. Here are the things I love.
summer skies, the golden flicker of the fireflies, the gleam of love light in your lovely eyes. These are the things I love. A silver moonbeam peeping through the trees, a bed of tulips nodding in the breeze, the look you give in answer to my pleas. These are the things I love. Oh, once I thought that life was just a winter thing. My heart was cold, and then you came to me, and like a breath of spring, you turned the silver snow to gold. A robin's serenade when day is through, the babbling brook beside our rendezvous, your sweet voice whispering, darling, I love you. These are the things I love.
Our number 6 song drops one notch from number 5 last week. Here is Una Mae Carlisle, walking by the river, swatting skeeters as she goes.
There's dew up on the ground and not a soul in sight. I'm walking by the river 'cause I'm meeting someone there tonight. I hear a distant sound, I see a far-off light. I'm walking by the river 'cause I'm meeting someone there tonight. Murmuring waters say there's no time to delay. Hurry on your way, my friend. If you don't get there soon, there may not be a moon to guide you to that happy end. My heart is riding high, my blues have taken flight, and I'm walking by the river 'cause I'm meeting someone there tonight. There's no time to delay, so hurry on your way, my friend. If you don't get there soon, there may not be a moon to guide you to that happy end. My heart is riding high, my blues have taken flight, and I'm walking by the river 'cause I'm meeting someone there tonight.
For our flashback, we take you back 2 years to 1939. It was one of the year's top-selling records. Introduced in 1934 as an instrumental, it was given vocals and spent 7 weeks at the top of the charts. Here is Deep Purple by Larry Clinton and his orchestra with the vocals by B. Wayne.
of a memory, you wander back to me, breathing my name with a sigh. In the still of the night, once again I hold you tight. Though you're gone, your love lives on when moonlight beams. And as long as my heart will beat, lover will always meet here in my deep purple dreams. In the still of the night, once again I hold you tight. Though you're gone, your love lives on when moonlight beams. And as long as my heart will beat, lover will always meet here in my deep purple
Our number 5 song this week took a pretty big drop. It was number 2 last week. It's by Al Donahue and his orchestra with Dee Keating on the vocals. Who needs a head shrink when you have the wise old owl?
you'd say goodbye. That old bird must have known that tonight he and I would be under the moon alone. Maybe I'll find a new love, that's what I should do. But the wise old owl in the old oak tree says hoo, hoo, hoo.
Holding steady at number 4 this week is the only instrumental on our countdown. Here is Wayne King's Orchestra and Intermezzo. Up to number 3 this week from number 6, it's the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra with Frank Sinatra on the vocals with the Pied Pipers and Do I Worry.
Stepping out, do I worry? 'Cause you've got me in doubt. though your kisses aren't right? Do I give a bag of beans? Do I stay home every night and read my magazines? Am I frantic 'cause we've lost the spark? Is there panic when it starts turning dark? And when evening shadows creep, do I lose any sleep over you? Do I worry? You can bet your life I do. I stay home every night and read my magazines. Am I frantic 'cause we've lost the spark? Is there panic when it starts turning dark? And when evening shadows creep, do I lose any sleep over you? Do I worry? You can bet your life I do.
Up from number 3 to number 2 is a wistful song that makes you think about the good old days. Here's the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra with Bob Eberly on the vocals and My Sister and I.
The warm and lovely world we knew has been struck by a bitter frost. But my sister and I recall with a sigh the world we knew and loved and lost. My sister and I remember still a tulip garden by an old Dutch mill, and the home that was all our own until. But we don't talk about that. My sister and I recall once more the fishing schooners pulling into shore, and the dog cart we drove in days before. But we don't talk about that. We're learning to forget the fear that came from a troubled sky. We're almost happy over here, but sometimes we wake at night and cry. My sister and I recall the day we said goodbye and then we sailed away, and we think of our friends who had to stay, but we don't talk about that. We're learning to forget the fear that came from a troubled sky. We're almost happy over here, but sometimes we wake at night and cry. My sister and I recall the day we said goodbye and then we sailed away, and we think of our friends who had to stay, but we don't talk about that.
And our number one song for the fourth week in a row. Yes, it's a double dose of Jimmy Dorsey. Here he is with that pretty little poppy, Amapola.
A boy found a dream upon a distant shore. A maid with a way of whispering, "Si, senor." Each night, while guitars would softly play, the tune seemed to dance round the words that he'd say. Amapola, my pretty little poppy, you're like that lovely flower, so sweet and heavenly. Since I found you, my heart is wrapped around you, and loving you it seems to be a rhapsody. Amapola, the pretty little poppy, must copy its endearing charms from you. Amapola, Amapola, how I long to hear you say, I love you.
My pretty little poppy, you're like that lovely flower, so sweet and heavenly. Since I found you, my heart is wrapped around you, and loving you it seems to be a rhapsody. Amapola, the pretty little poppy, must copy its endearing charms from you. Amapola, Amapola, how I long to hear you say, I love you.
And that is the Your Hit Parade Jukebox's top 10 songs for the week ending May 17th, 1941. My name is Henry Chop. Your country's defense needs you. You can purchase United States defense bonds at your local post office. So long for a while.
So long for a while.
That's all the songs for a while. So long to your hit parade and the tunes that you pick to be played. So long.
Well, that's the way it was on May 17th, 1941. My name is Henry Chop, your host, and in a moment I'll tell you what you can watch right after this video was done, or on the quarter hour after this video was done. YouTube only allows premieres on the quarter hour, so it might come up a few minutes after this. And I will tell you what you can listen to tomorrow night, Sunday, May 18th, 1941. So stick around for that. This channel does not qualify for YouTube monetization due to the vintage content that we feature. If you would like to donate to the channel to encourage me to keep on uploading more often, there are 2 links in the description section. One is to PayPal, one is to GoFundMe. You can use either of those. If the GoFundMe link is outdated, go to either the channel description where a new link will be posted, or go to a more recent video where you will see an updated link. Thank you very much, and any little bit helps. Well, got the business out of the way. Let me tell you what we are going to watch later on tonight. We have a classic movie double feature, The Man Who Lost His Way and The Mad Doctor. Some great stuff for a Saturday night. And I put in some selected short subjects too. So we are going to have some fun with that. You're going to grab some, you can grab some popcorn and pretend you are at the movie, maybe a Coke. If you have a straw, even use a straw. It'll be just like you're in the movies back in 1941. And if you have to use the bathroom while the movie's on, don't pause it. Just pretend you are walking out to use the bathroom, and you come back and you're like, you have to ask who's with you. What happened? So just some great stuff. I hope you enjoy these two movies, The Man Who Lost His Way and The Mad Doctor, both of which were playing in Chicago, in the Chicago theaters on May 17th, 1941. All right, let me tell you what we are going to listen to tomorrow night, May 18th, 1941. We are going to have a program called Nightmare at Noon. Then we have Behind the Mic, the Jack Benny program, the Columbia Workshop, and Walter Winchell and the Juergens Journal. Walter Winchell is always interesting. I always enjoy his program. I only wish I had more of them. Hopefully a bunch turns up sometime. You never know what people find in dumpsters or in the basements of radio stations these days. And God willing, they'll post them online so we can share them. Some of the stuff that turns up is just amazing. All right, well, let's get ready to watch a movie. Let's turn off this old tube radio. That's our time machine. Good night. God bless.
This changing world, this changing scene, where is it taking us? What does it mean? As long as we're certain of each other, we know we don't have to be afraid. These changing times we rise above. We have no time for them. We have our love, and love is the only thing that still remains the same through all this change.